Okay, I think we're live. I'm relatively sure we're live. Okay, going to just pop out the chat real quick. Okay, I think we're good to go. Today I'm going to be using a pop filter over the mic. I noticed I was getting a lot of popping. I put a bit of a windsock over it this time. I also moved the seat so that we will have Maze watching us do our shiny hunting. He's just coming out. I told you he likes to sit in that bowl, but he's coming out to see what's going on. Hopefully he'll bring us luck. I also have Arceus over here by my dust cloth. I'm sure he'll bring us some luck. Okay, and then I just have to adjust this camera. For those of you who don't remember, or weren't here before, you can kind of see in the reflection actually. I have a camera mounted to my wrist so that the game is visible. Although I don't think you're going to be picking up any audio because I'm using a headset mic. We're just going to give people a minute to come in if they're coming in. See if I get any viewers or chatters while we look at the snake. And then we will move on to shiny hunting very shortly. So this is nice because I can just kind of aim my hand at what I want to record. It's sort of like having a handy cam, but it's like duct taped to your arm. It's like convenient and inconvenient at the same time. Well, he's settled in. Okay, so yeah, my camera's actually really lit up because of the lighting for the tanks is hitting it. So that's actually pretty annoyingly visible, but what if I lean back? No, it's about the same. That's fine, that's good enough. So let's get looking for a Ditto, and then we can start doing this chain. Yesterday I got up to like, I don't know, 50 or 60, and accidentally broke the chain because I kept looking over because my connection was dying. So I'm hoping today, I think I might have fixed the problem I was having. I'm also in a slightly different spot. Uh, Before I was kind of over in the corner. I think maybe that was not doing me any favors. So I think if I can adjust this camera properly anyway, I think we won't have any disconnection problems at the very least. The last stream I was cutting in and out. I mean, these are test streams, so they're not gonna be perfect. Hopefully, when I start doing the more interesting streams, it will be working better. That is the goal. See, he slides. It's really interesting to watch them because they kind of coil themselves up like a hose. He's not gonna do it because I'm holding the camera up. He doesn't know what this is. But he'll keep doing that. A lot of people think snakes have to kind of like slither or wind. A lot of snakes actually use these big flat scales on their belly, and they almost use them like little feet, so he can slide like here. He's gonna start doing it. You see how he's like sliding forward. He's not moving. He's not sidewinding. There are snakes that sidewind. So you could see he's moving kind of in. He's got a curve there, but he moves in a straight line, or he can move in a straight line at least. Let's move this over a little bit because you guys are seeing a bit of the reflected screen there. just have that up so I can see what the camera's seeing, and then I have chat next to it. Let's do a little gambling. Gotta make sure to hit him in the eye. Oh, I actually got a hatch one. Nice. I'm gonna need those later. I think I have a lot saved up, but I am gonna need those later. I do plan on doing some shiny breeding as well. Whether that'll be on camera or off camera, I don't know. Um, Usually I do this kind of stuff while I'm like watching TV. I'll do it in the background. This is like my first time actually shiny hunting in a way that people can observe. I also do wonder if this mic sock is helping. I sure hope so. Because I listened back to the other stream yesterday, and every time I went plosives, you'd hear a little breath hit the mic, and it's kind of annoying. I have better mics. I don't have a mic stand set up. Once I get more settled and set up and got the streams working better, I don't even really have a streaming computer at the moment. I'm literally just running this off of a, at this point, fairly outdated laptop. Uh, at the time, it was pretty good. Okay, so now we got a Ditto. Okay, let's actually set up here. So I want to switch to my shiny Rockruff. And if you watch the other streams, you'll know she is completely useless. I have set her up in a way that once these idiot Dittos transform into her, they basically can't do anything except use up all their moves. So the main thing I have to be very careful of is making sure they don't use up all their moves. That will end the encounter. And there's Maze still. He sees me sitting out here and he doesn't know what's going on because usually I'm sitting a lot further away. And also generally, snakes are a lot more secretive. They'll hide during the day. Um, or if you're active near them, they'll hide. That is kind of their instinct. And you have to keep in mind, even though this is a pet snake, he's not. There's no such thing as a domesticated snake. These are wild snakes, and you just tame them. Okay, it looks like I might be having the same disconnection problems as yesterday. I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. I think I'm back now, though. That's really annoying. Well, let's see if it keeps doing it. Um, for now, I'm just gonna false swipe this. Okay, and then, oh, he actually did manage an SOS call without an adrenaline orb, so I will slap the new Ditto. And you could see it tried to use rest, but the ability of the Rockruff is Vital Spirit, so it cannot use rest. And what I want to do right now is use an adrenaline orb. And that will make it SOS call more often, although these seem to like not doing it. Dittos don't seem to have that often of an SOS call rate, so I'm going to have to blow turns by continually using adrenaline orbs. It won't use them up. You'll see it says has no effect. So you kind of just, even though the text makes it sound like you used it, you don't. Because you know, I still have 65. I guess I didn't show it, but trust me, it's gonna stay 65 unless I mess up and have to reset and like start a new encounter essentially. This one really doesn't want a SOS call, so you could see 65. It's going to use rest. It can't use it, so it can't heal. Okay, finally called another Ditto. I'm just trying to keep an eye on if my connection is going to drop again. Yesterday it was doing that kind of continually. Every few minutes it would drop out and come back. Unfortunately I didn't notice until I was pretty far into the stream. So I don't even know. I think it was probably doing it the entire time and I just didn't realize. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that. It looks like we're stable. Well, assuming my connection cooperates, I really do want to try to get a shiny this time. But I guess we'll see. And I'm going to go back to waste another, but you can, just to show, that's 65 still. So no matter how many of those I use, it's only going to actually use the first one that takes effect. And then, actually, so here's the important part. It's kind of hard to keep track, especially for me, because I'm trying to keep track of so many things right now. Uh, so I want to switch Dittos pretty frequently so that I don't actually let them run out of PP and use struggle, because that's obviously not what I want. So once that's transformed, I can safely switch back. So I don't know if you guys can hear the motorcycle outside, but there's a motorcycle just kind of rumbling past. Can't do nothing about that. Okay, so now I just want to make sure to pay attention. I'm going to false swipe the one on the left. And then I want to make sure to multi-attack the one on the right, because that's the one that has already been here for a while. And the reason I do the false swipe first is because I messed up a chain. I realized if they struggle and I have a multi-attack queued up, it's going to just go to the new one and end the encounter if the first one struggles. That actually happened to me in the first stream. That was what blew it. So I'm trying to be a little more careful about that. Just turn the camera a little bit. Okay, so that did not call, so I'll just use another Adrenaline Orb. And the Adrenaline Orbs are one per encounter, not one per Pokemon, so again, that's not gonna... Not that they, cost a lot or anything, but I'm not gonna have to go keep stocking up or anything. Okay, go for the multi-attack on the new one. And since I'm only using multi-attack for the actual kills, and it's one per, I can actually keep pretty good track of what Ditto we're on. That's how I know yesterday I was probably at like 50-something or maybe even 60-something. Probably getting pretty close to getting a shiny at that point, but just didn't pay attention. My own fault. It's mostly just persistence and making sure you're doing the right thing in the right situation. Not letting too many moves go off of the opponent's Ditto, or the not opponent, but the wild Ditto, so that I don't run out. Okay. And the tricky part is it's not just because they're using moves even when they don't do a successful SOS, so it gets a little tricky to actually pay attention. Okay, go for the multi-attack. And I think someone's about to start mowing, so hopefully that won't get picked up on the mic. I don't see it getting picked up, so I think I'm okay. Okay. Well, Maze has decided to just sort of. You can see his head resting on the log over there. He's just sort of stretched out. And this tank is about 3 feet long. So it gives you a pretty good idea that he's gotten fairly big. He's over 3 feet. He's probably close to 4, maybe over. And he is looking a little. He's a little skinny. I believe he's a male though. Male corn snakes don't get as thick around as female corn snakes, but they do get a bit longer. And he's very long and thin, so that's why I think he might be a boy. I'm actually going to switch Dittos because I don't know how many moves this one has left. So you'll see the second one will transform. And then we'll just switch back to the Smeargle, who has all the good moves. Oh, you could also see I moved the Roach bin as well, but I think I might have spooked them when I moved it. They're all hiding. If one of them comes out, I'll point the camera at it. There's only well, not about, there's exactly 4 in there at the moment. Unless one of them like literally just gave birth. I just started the colony, so there's only the 4 that I bought to start it. So we are going to false swipe the new one first. I almost multi-attacked the old one first. And then now we multi-attack the old one. Okay, go for the multi-attack. That Rockruff's actually getting pretty high level. I don't remember what it started at, but pretty low. Just from fighting so many Dittos over and over, eventually you get a little bit of experience. So I think we're up to, I think it's like, we're getting pretty close to like 15 chain now. Not actually counting, so I have to look at how many multi-attacks I have left. I have 3 out of 16, so we are at 13. I was pretty close. And no help. Okay, cool. So let's adrenaline orb. Every time I try to get it on camera, he stops doing it. But he is very slowly curling himself up back into that ball. Don't know why he likes curling up into a ball so much. Because originally it was just to give him some humidity when he's shedding. I put like some moss in there and I'd spray it down. But he just really likes it in there, so I feel bad taking it out. I just let the moss dry so he's not sitting on damp moss constantly. Okay, what are we doing here? Just killing this Ditto. All he's got sticking out now is the tail. He's gonna pull that. He might actually, maybe he's gonna leave that hanging out. Well, he's nice and curled up in there. Okay, so he did not call for help, so we will adrenaline orb. Yeah, the Dittos, they're not super reliable for SOS chaining. They eventually show up, and then it's just a matter of crossing your fingers and hoping for a shiny, basically. And this is my last multi-attack, so you'll see what's going to happen is it's going to recover my PP with the Lepa Berry, because I actually remembered to do that this time. No, this is an imposter. I was trying to get those to chain yesterday, but it never goes well. I can never quite get them to do what I want, it seems like. And since they get this guy's move set, it gets really annoying really fast. Because they have access to things like recover when they're transformed into my Smeargle. And even at level 30, that multi attack actually hits pretty hard. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is go down and use Recycle. And what that's going to do is that's going to get that Lepa Berry back. So now, if my moves run out again, I'm just kind of back to square one. I got 10 back in there and a Lepa Berry, so theoretically, he can do this all day. As long as I don't make a mistake. Speaking of which, how long has this Ditto been out? Not that long, right? It might still be in my best interest to switch Dittos. I would rather do this like way too frequently than do it infrequently once and end the encounter. So It takes a lot more time to reset the encounter and get the chain back up to, whatever I was at before. At the moment, we're almost at, I think we're pretty close to 20. 16, yeah. This will be the 19th Ditto here that I'm knocking out. Uh, I almost did the wrong one, too. And then I want to multi-attack the one on the right. So that's Ditto number 19. It's going to be just my luck that I'm not going to have anyone even watching the stream when I actually get the Ditto. I actually had a few people watching yesterday, and then I just got a bunch of connection issues, which I don't think is on YouTube's end. I think it is on my end, but I mean, it's really my ISP is the issue. I have to deal with the great monopoly that is Comcast or Xfinity or whatever name they go by now to avoid their bad reputation. But we don't have much of a choice. It's that or nothing. I guess we could get like 5G internet or something, but if I want a hardline internet, pretty much stuck with one thing in most places. And probably should be illegal, but it isn't, so just got to deal with it. Okay, so we want to multi-attack this Ditto. No, there's an imposter one again. Let's see if... Okay, I'm just gonna switch and see if it'll call another imposter Ditto. I don't think it's going to. I also haven't noticed an internet drop yet. I don't think I've disconnected since that one at the very beginning. Although I could have missed it. Oh, good, there we go. We got one to imposter the correct Pokemon finally. Maybe this is a good sign? Oh, wait, no, I don't want to multi-attack first. I want to false swipe first. I got to get out of that habit. It's not really an issue here, but I just don't want to be in that habit. Just gonna open up my water bottle. Might hear it. Remember to stay hydrated, guys. Oh, one of the... There you go. One of the Madagascar hissing cockroaches came out. That is, believe it or not, I can actually tell all four apart. That's the alpha male. So there is dominance among them. I'll do a video about them later, but that is like the he's always hanging out, and I can tell it's a male because of the little you see those little bumps on the front that kind of look like horns a little bit, like on the top. those are really prominent on males, and also the antenna. Um, if you get a close, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but if you get a close look, they're kind of more feathery. They're also smaller and tend to hiss more frequently, but that's not an observable. It's not a good way to sex them because I've seen some rather big males that could be mistaken for females if you're not looking at the other distinguishing characteristics. But he's coming out to see what's going on. All right, back to the hunt. So this guy has not called for help. So I'll just adrenaline orb. And you can see it doesn't always call an imposter one, even if I manage to get an imposter in the position for SOS chaining. But it increases the chance. So I might get a shiny imposter ditto, but probably not. Uh oh, it doesn't matter. That's my shiny Porygon, but it's not for combat, so it doesn't really matter if it learns moves or not. The real tricky part is if it does summon one that has imposter, I have to pay attention because I'm only going to see the Ditto itself for a moment. And then it's going to transform into a shiny Pokemon, so I won't know whether it's shiny or not. I don't know if there's a way around that. But it doesn't seem like it's calling imposter ones very frequently anyway, so I don't think I have to worry about it too much. Yeah, even that one wasn't. I thought it was going to be just to be contrary to what I was saying, but and hopefully you guys can't hear the frickin' leaf blower if anyone's even watching. VOD watchers, go back in time and tell me if you can hear the leaf blower. Thank you, I appreciate it. I can hear you guys typing the comments. I can't read them in the past, but I appreciate it. If anyone is watching, start chatting so I have something to talk about, you know? I don't think anybody. I can't actually. Can I check that? I think if I go to this, I think I have a viewer. So yeah, ask me some questions. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Unless you're watching this as a VOD, then yes, ask me some questions. Go in the comments, please. Please. I'll talk about it. Yeah, go in the comments. If you're watching this as a VOD, comment me some questions and then subscribe because I'll answer it in a future streamer video. So you gotta pay attention. You gotta be patient. Just like I'm being patient with these dittos that just absolutely refuse to cooperate. They don't want to be imposter dittos when I want them to be. Keep messing me up so I don't chain a shiny. It's all the dittos' fault. I blame them 100%. This one, I don't think this one has summoned a single imposter ditto. Maybe it doesn't make it more common. Maybe I should look up the mechanics of the game instead of just assuming that I understand how it works. Well, that one was imposter, but it still is not very frequent. So I don't know if it's worth like keeping an imposter Ditto as the summon, the SOS summoner. I wonder if the mic picks up me swallowing water. It's another question for the VODers. Comment, tell me, can you hear me when I drink water? Here, I'm gonna do it again. I'll do it again just for you guys. It doesn't pick up on the mic, so I don't think it does. Or it doesn't pick up on the little waveform or whatever you call that thing. A little gauge that shows me how loud I am. Okay, so I think what I want to do is, I guess if I want to keep the imposter, I would have to, yeah, see, that's going to be too hard to do. So I'm just going to switch. I don't want to keep this Ditto for too long and have it struggle. So just let him transform into my shiny Rockruff. And then switch back. This guy actually took some damage from those imposter ones too. Okay, so the new one is the one on the right. Just keep that in mind. Because then I want to knock out the old one, which is on the left. Perfect. And now if this doesn't SOS chain, I'm going to heal. Or if it doesn't succeed in its SOS chain, they usually try at least. Yeah. So now I can just use recover. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world if he got knocked out, but it'd be annoying. So then I'd have to revive him. Waste another turn switching and such. Alright. Back to the chaining. Have I used my Lepa Berry again? I actually don't recall. Just go. Yeah, I did, I guess. Well, I'll wait until I have an opportune moment. Like right now. So that means we're on Ditto. Because it was 16, and then 10, and then 8. So yeah, we're getting there. We've gotten quite a few Dittos, right? That would be right, because it was 16, and then 10. So, and I have 2 left, and each Lepa Berry heals 10, so that's 8. So it should be That should be correct, right? I think so. I don't want a multi-attack right now. Okay, let's get this to summon another one. So I think this would be the 35th Ditto, unless my math is bad. Because it would have been 16, 26, and 26 plus 8. So 34. So this is the 35th Ditto. I think. So we should be getting into the territory of decent IV and a decent chance at shiny, I think. I've heard a lot of people say that it took them 100 plus for their shiny SOS chains. And I even had people in chat telling me it took them. Well, I had some people say it took them under 100, but 100's baseline, where it's like if it's less than 100, you got pretty lucky. If it's 100, it's pretty average. You know, it's like what you should probably expect. And if it takes more than 100 SOS chains, it's pretty unlucky. But it does take some skill to get over 100. You have to not make any mistakes, which is even harder for me because I also have to pay attention to like if my internet dies or if people are chatting or things like that. Okay, multi-attack. Now my Lepa Berry should go off, meaning that was the 36th Ditto. Unless I've lost count. And I'll just wait for an opening to use Recycle. Which will probably be right now if this SOS doesn't succeed. Oh, it did. At a certain point, you kind of stop expecting it to succeed. Well, here you go. Now I can recycle. Get my Lepa Berry back. Do I need to refresh yet? I feel like I just did, but maybe I should switch after this one. Just to be on the safe side. Oh, wait, no, I want to switch them. So I'm going to false swipe the new one. And then yep, I just saw it disconnect again. I think I'm connected now, though. That is really frustrating. And like, yeah, almost guaranteed. It's probably something with the new router we got. I don't know. I mean, but the way that it drops in and out, it makes me think that it is actually just something with the ISP, and there's not really anything I can do about that at the moment. So I'll just deal with it. I'll keep checking. If it seems like it's getting bad, I might stop, especially because it doesn't seem like we have a lot of viewers right now. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to stick around if it's just dropping in and out constantly. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, just adjusting the camera a little bit here on my wrist. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like the connection's dropping back out. Keep going for now. Get this as quick as we can, hopefully. Yeah, it dropped out right when I said that. I think we might just have to call it. I might have to try to figure out what's going on with the internet. Well, I guess I'm glad I did these test streams before I did anything super important. Because if this was dropping out while I was doing the bigger ones, it would be pretty bad. Not that this is great, but I mean, the main thing I'm worried about is that I'm going to get this shiny during one of these moments when it's disconnected. I was really hoping that it would even itself out, but the only other thing I could think of that it could be is OBS, but I don't think it's OBS. I think this might be an older version of OBS. I think I can update it, but I doubt that would be the problem. I just don't know enough about like the actual setup for streaming. I'm pretty new to that. I have experimented with it before when this was more of a primarily gaming channel, but part of the reason that I never really started doing streams is I never got them to work very well. I'm gonna multi-attack this Ditto, and then I'm gonna switch to a new one because I'm worried that I'm running out of PP on that other Ditto. Okay, so I'm gonna switch. Let that one transform. I just have to remember that I need to recycle once I switch back to Smeargle. Okay, false swipe you on the right, multi-attack on the left. I think that's 40. I think we're up to like 46 Dittos at this point. Or that might have been 47. So it sucks. We're getting so close. This is like the point where we might actually get a shiny, and I saw my connection completely dip out twice recently. So it's probably not good. Also, sorry about that cough. I wasn't able to mute in time. I got to get into that habit. Oh, I can actually. I don't need to. I don't need to waste a turn. I can actually use my recycle. And it still didn't SOS, so back to the Adrenaline Orb. Okay, still didn't SOS. Alright. You do you, Ditto. You take your time. So, I think this is 40, 48, so two more and we're up to 50, which is like theoretically halfway there. It's pretty sus. Don't multi it. How does the Ditto go first in that situation? 'Cause it's like level 30 or whatever. That doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense that the Ditto goes first in that situation. Oh, because it keeps using rock polish. No, that's the one that's out. The one that just first comes in doesn't have a speed boost. Yeah, I don't know why that one always goes first. That is weird. Hmm. I do wonder. I do wonder what the reasoning is. Hey, eventually one of those is going to be shiny. It's got to happen eventually, right? Ugh. See, this is the point where I kind of wish I had some people to cheer me on because I just want to give up at this point. Oh, hello. There we go. See, we have a chatter now. Hello there, Lex Maggie. It looks like Lex, Lex. Welcome. Still shiny hunting the Ditto. We have SOS chained about. It's got to be over 50 at this point. So we're very far into this SOS chain. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, it's probably a good idea to get a new Ditto. So we're gonna let that new Ditto transform into my useless Rockruff, and then switch back. I don't know why the camera was pointing up there. Oh, do you mean because of the weird stuff in front of me? This is my reptile room that I'm in right now. I have there's a snake sleeping in that bowl. If you go back a little earlier, you can see him get in there. And then I got this is a bin of giant cockroaches. You can kind of see one right there. And then my other snake, yeah, you can kind of see him. He's like the heat pad is up on that side of the wall, so he's sort of getting some heat in the corner there next to the pot. I plan on doing some animal videos. For now, we're just continuing with the shiny hunt while I test my ability to stream, which hasn't been great because it keeps dropping in and out. Hopefully, it won't do that again. Okay, so the new Ditto is the one on the left. So we're going to false swipe that. I just want to remember the one on the right is the one I need to knock out. Okay, and now we're good to just sort of zone out for like 15 more attacks. And where you guys are is on my wrist. You can kind of see that reflected. Oops. If I don't knock everything down trying to pick my phone up, there. I have a camera, just sort of, it's sort of hard to do this. Trying to use my phone as like a mirror so you can see. It's attached to my wrist, which is not the best way of screen recording a 3DS, but it works. Okay, where are we at? He hasn't done anything, so we need to adrenaline orb. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to see you subbed. Hopefully you will enjoy the animal videos I have coming up. I was actually going to do a stream where I hold my scorpion for the first time. I have a very, very young scorpion in that small container. I think he's getting ready to do his first molt with me, so I'm not bothering him. That will maybe be next week, though. So there's some interesting stuff coming. It's not just going to be Pokemon. Okay, so what I want to do is multi-hit the new one, right? Yeah. Multi-attack, whatever. Hello, hello. Oh, look, we got another chatter. There we go. People are filtering in, and hopefully I'll actually get the shiny soon because we're on a pretty far chain here. We're getting there. We're getting there. So wait, how many PP did I have left on multi-attack? I think I had 2, so I think we're up to... Whew, boy, yeah, we're getting close to 60 chained, I think. So we're pretty far along in this chain. I haven't broken this chain the whole time, knock on wood. This has all been the same chain since I started streaming. This strat would be called SOS chaining. So, back during this gen, um, Pokemon would SOS call another Pokemon. So what I'm doing is I am letting these Dittos transform into my useless Rockruff, who can't do anything. And then they're just SOS chaining more Dittos in the hopes that eventually one of them will be shiny. It does increase the odds a little bit. I don't actually know the numbers for this generation. But it increases your chance of getting a shiny when you've been SOS chaining for a while, basically. I usually get them after about 50 or 60 plus, so we're about where I would usually get a shiny, as long as I don't break the chain. I think the wormholes was that. I don't know. I actually haven't played this generation for a while. I'm kind of just stepping back to it. I don't remember what those are. Isn't that for hunting legendaries? Oh, can you? I should try that. Oh, and I think I just dropped my connection for a minute. Um, I did not know you could find normal shinies in there. I may have to check that. I might have to check that strategy out. I don't think I ever made it past SOS chaining in this generation, because there were several that I didn't finish getting, like Ditto, for example. I usually breed my shinies. It's kind of my preferred method, I guess you could say. But it's not as exciting on stream either. And I usually like to do that with like something on in the background because it's very boring, even more boring than SOS chaining. Because at least with SOS chaining, you have to like kind of pay a little bit of attention and like do something. Whereas with egg hatching, you're just going in circles for the most part. So it's all about the setup. Setup is the exciting part. Well, that's probably the base rate for a shiny Ditto. I don't know if it's that low, is it? But I do have a shiny charm, and I am chaining, so the chaining does definitely increase the odds a bit. Oh, I was supposed to false swipe that one, wasn't I? Oops. Well, as long as it SOS calls here, it won't be a problem. And it didn't. So that's not great. Let's really hope that that one doesn't. I hope it's not as close to running out of PP as I think it is, basically. Okay, let's see. You could be nice and just call me the shiny right here. No. Okay, so we just want that to transform, so I'm gonna fire off a rock polish, I guess. Alright, so let's switch back to the Smeargle. Yeah, I've hunted this spot for a shiny Ditto. At this point, it's been quite a few times, and I believe I also hunted a shiny Ditto in a previous generation. I think I I don't actually remember what the method was. I don't it's been too long. It might have been back when they had the horde battles, but I don't remember if there was a horde for Ditto. I just want to false swipe that one. Multi-attack the one on the right. Yeah, shiny hunting in the older gens, especially like, I mean, Emerald is way back there. That was where I got my first shiny, but that was just random chance. I heard that level up and it gave me a heart attack. I thought I ended the encounter for a second. Just use an adrenaline orb to burn the turn. Yeah, I think most of my legendaries that are shiny are from events. I did used to get a lot of like anytime GameStop would have an event where they'd give away a shiny or something, I'd always try to hit that up. I don't know if I ever got like a legendary shiny by like resetting or doing anything special. Emerald. Well, it wouldn't be EVs, it would be IVs. I think Emerald was still in that range though. I think it was like Emerald. I think it was third and fourth gen. So it would be like Emerald. I think Pearl and Platinum. I think you still had. I want to say you still had higher or Pearl, Diamond, Emerald, whatever. Platinum, Pearl, Diamond, Platinum. I think that generation it was still dependent on IVs, but they don't do that anymore. I know that much. You can get a shiny that has like completely garbage IVs, or you can get a shiny that has really good IVs in the modern games. Man, this one just does not want an SOS call, does it? There we go. I think the camera might be a little wonky here, sorry. I actually might be able to figure it out because I have a shiny from third generation. I could probably look at the IVs and see if it has anything out of the usual. But I think that is correct. I think Emerald, it would have it would have like an unusual IV set to determine the nature, shiny nature. Um, So my multi-attack is at 5 out of 16. I've refreshed it like 4 or 5 times at 10 PP each. So yeah, we're definitely in like the 60s, 70s here. I don't know how hard it is to find shinies in the Let's Go series. I didn't get super into that one. It seemed like it was more geared toward people who were into Pokemon Go, and I never really got into Pokemon Go. I do, however, really like shiny Eevee. I have a shiny Eevee and a shiny Umbreon and Flareon, I believe, are the two that I managed to get of the evolutions. I was originally going for a full lineup of those shinies. It would really just be a matter of me breeding more Eevees at this point. Yeah, being able to interact with your Pokemon was definitely the best part of those games. And they kind of did do some stuff like that in the other games. Like in this one, you can like kind of brush them and stuff. I don't think they ever had one that was as good as they did in Let's Go. And it's funny because they always come up with these cool ideas like that and then never incorporate it into another game ever. I don't know why they like doing that. Yeah, spent I think I probably spent more time like just using the play with your Pokemon feature in I actually had Let's Go Pikachu, but I think I spent more time just doing the play with your Pokemon mechanic than I actually played the game itself. um, that was definitely the best part of that game. I really did enjoy it. I do like Eevee is also one of my favorites, but like don't get me wrong, yeah, Eevee is amazing. But if I have to pick between Eevee and Pikachu, I Pikachu is just a tiny bit like that is like my favorite Pokemon. So that one has to get. I had a hard time choosing though. When they make starter Eevee and Pikachu, that is a really hard choice. I'm going to switch out to the Rockruff. Um, Also, Michelle, yeah, no, this is the it's transforming into my shiny watch. So it gets a little confusing because they all look shiny. But I have not gotten a shiny Ditto yet. Yeah, Pikachu shiny isn't great. I do have a shiny Pikachu, um, apricot, but I don't use her for anything. I don't think it's. I think she's just a trophy. I don't think that one has any stats, unfortunately. But because you can kind of use Pikachu to fight. I mean, it's okay. If you have the right loadout and perfect IVs, it's not terrible. I never really played competitively much though. I mostly just bred competitive shinies for fun, and then never used them. This is it's a new 3DS XL, I think. XL. It says it on the bottom. Yeah, new 3DS XL. And it's funny because I never use the 3D screen, but should have probably just gotten a 2DS. All right, let's see. We're getting close. Every Ditto now is getting closer and closer. Let's adrenaline orb to blow a turn here. Oh, I think I needed to use recycle. Oh well, too late now. And it's going to imposter my Smeargle. So I definitely have to take that out real quick. And I don't have any HP or any PP, so that's good. I'll just recycle my Leppa Berry, recover multi-attack. Now I can attack it. And it didn't call a new one, so I guess I can recycle again. Yeah, I don't remember how much this XL cost new. I think it's actually one of the few systems I bought new too. I usually buy them used, but this was a long time ago too. It was, I do remember it being pretty expensive though. Gen 7. What would Gen 7 be? That would be would that be X and Y? Right? Oh, 7 is Sun and Moon. Well, for Sun and Moon, what starter did I pick? I actually don't remember. Oh yeah, XY6. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sun and Moon. Starter. I think. Man, I can't even remember who I picked. It's been so long. It would have had to have been. Yeah, I don't. Man, I really don't remember. That's crazy. I don't remember which one I picked. I don't think I really have too much of a preference. Most of my preferences for starters are all the older gens. I think the only recent one that I really have a super big preference on is Cinderace, and I never even played that game. So the only reason I even know much about it is from just like seeing it in other media, essentially, and seeing other people play it. Yeah, Sun and Moon is old. Yeah, it's gotten old. What were the starters for Sun and Moon were what starter set is that even? I can't even think. I never played. So Sun and Moon is this is the last gen I played, and it's been a long time since I played it. This is probably my first time picking this game up in like 3 years or something. And prior to that, it was mostly just breeding shinies. Do I need to switch Dittos? But just for safety. Yeah, I guess you could call me like a retired Pokemon player, more or less. But I grew up on it. I started in Gen 1. And yeah, basically ended in Sun Moon when I couldn't transfer my Pokemon forward anymore. But I have shinies going all the way back to Gen 3. That was my first random caught. And then I really got into shiny breeding. I think it was XY was the first time I really started. Like really getting into collecting shinies, like actually making an effort. Ooh, I probably should have false swiped the new one first on that, but I wasn't punished, so it doesn't matter. Oh yeah. It was definitely Tarkat. That's the one. Litten, Tarkat, Incineroar. That's definitely the one that I picked. I do remember now. Yeah, out of Rowlet, yeah, Rowlet, Litten, and Poplio. Yeah, I definitely think I like. I mean, I do like all of those though. That's the problem. I do remember that was my big problem with this generation is I had trouble picking which one I wanted to start with because I liked all of them. And that's not usually the case. Generally, I have a favorite right away. I tend to default to fire though. Yeah, Rowlet. I almost want to say maybe I did start with Rowlet, and I'm just misremembering. But I know that was my main choice between Rowlet and Litten. But I do like all of them for this generation. Wait, did it SOS call while it had full HP? That's interesting. Or did I not switch and refresh? I feel like I lost track of where I am here. So I'm gonna switch back. I think that one summoned an SOS call while it was at full HP, and that confused me. But I'll just let that one on the right transform, and we'll just use that one. No, first gen I picked Squirtle. I was a little late to the game playing Pokemon, but a lot of my friends picked Charmander, so that made me kind of want to pick the opposite for strategy. I don't remember if that actually worked, but I also really just liked Squirtle, so that ended up being my first starter. I think I was water for first gen. I went with Squirtle. I think I was water for second gen as well. Then there was a big break where I didn't play Pokemon for a while, and then for third gen, I think was the first one I picked Fire, if I'm not mistaken. And then I kind of started picking Fire from then on. Okay, so I false swipe the one on the right, so I'm going to multi attack the one on the left. Okay, and then we're nice and reset now. I have no idea how many Dittos in this is. I mean, we're at least 60 plus. Once we get to 60 plus, I kind of start losing count. Yeah, Game Shark. I do remember the days when Game Shark would kill your game. It would erase your memory file. It was very unfortunate. Especially because the only way you could realistically fill your Pokedex and get Mew was to Game Shark a Mew in. You could go to those in-person events, but they were so rare. It's strange that they made that the only way to get Mew. I actually learned pretty early on the best way to do it was have someone that had a relatively fresh game put Game Shark a bunch of Mews onto that one cartridge and then distribute that to other games because that would not erase your save file on those other games. The only one that would be at risk would be whatever sacrificial game was doing the Game Sharking. So once I had like a copy of Pokemon Yellow and a copy of Pokemon Blue, it got a little easier if you wanted to get yourself a Mew. But that's the risk of cheating, even if it's somewhat necessary cheating. Nowadays, you can spoof all the mystery gift events. I have no idea how to do it. I just know it's possible. Okay, multi attack that guy. And no SOS, of course. Okay. I think after this adrenaline orb, I'm going to take a quick break just for a few seconds. And I'll probably just leave the camera sitting on one of these tanks. Okay, so there's a Ditto. Actually, before I go, just so I don't lose track of where I am, I'm going to start with a fresh Ditto. I'm pretty patient. Someone's asking. I could see I'm talking to the same person, but I can't see the name very well from here. Sneu. But yeah, I'm a pretty patient person. This isn't even that bad. I mean, I spent to breed that shiny Gardevoir. I showed off in one of I think yesterday's stream. I showed off my shiny collection, but I have a shiny Gardevoir. I mean, that thing took me weeks of breeding. That one was an insane breed because not only was I going for specific IVs, I was also going for trace, and it had to be a female, otherwise it would evolve the wrong way. So I actually believe I have a shiny male Ralts from that breed. And I was so excited. I finally got a shiny, and I looked and saw male, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I had to start all over from square one and just pray the next one would not be male. Okay, so I have my new one set up. Let's switch back. Uh, the problem with turning that one into a shiny Glade is that it has modest nature and IVs that are set for special attack. So I mean, like I could theoretically turn it into a Glade, but it would be like the most useless shiny Glade in existence. So I'll probably just continue to keep it as a Ralts, or I might evolve it into a Curlia or something just to add that to my decks. But I think I have a shiny Curlia in this deck from the Gardevoir, unless that was the previous generation that I evolved that. But anyway, I'm going to set this up, and then I'll be right back for a minute. I just want to make sure I got this all set so I don't forget where I'm at. So the one on the left now has just been refreshed. So we will be good to go. Let's just see if it SOS calls now, though. No. Okay, well, I'll be all set on Adrenaline Orb. I know where I'm at, and I will be right back. I just have to take the camera off my wrist. And I will put it looking into the roaches. Oh, you can kind of see the back of one there. There you go. You can keep an eye on my roaches for a minute. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Let's move my little sign. And let me just strap you guys back to my wrist. Which I have to do one-handed, by the way. Okay. Oop. That almost... Camera actually almost fell completely off my wrist. That would be bad. The other tanks are actually snakes. The roaches are not feeder roaches. It's a beginning of a starter It's basically a starter for a colony of Madagascar giant hissing cockroaches. But yeah, the other tanks are. This one is my corn snake. He's curled up in his ball. I actually have other videos on the channel of him. In specific, I know I have one of him shedding, and I have one that I need to upload of him drinking because it's incredibly rare to see both of those things. Um, my ball python is you can kind of see him. This little tank in the front here is a Asian forest scorpion, specifically a Laotian Asian forest scorpion. And then in the back, that was I had crickets in there. At the moment, there's mostly just roly polies in that one. But yeah, no. Well, I think you actually can use those as feeder roaches when they're young. But those are just intended as pets. I also have well, it's behind me. I can't really aim it except upside down. But there's another tank behind me. That one has another ball python in it that is relatively young compared to. But yeah, I'm gonna have some videos about them that'll kind of go over them and explain them. My last stream, the VOD should still be up. If you skip all the way to the end, I take Maze and Grok out as kind of a preview, because that shiny hunt ended up being such a bust, and my connection was dipping in and out so much. I was like, well, I might as well show off the snakes a little. But yeah, my real passion is definitely animals, and I am gonna have some videos and streams with them. Don't worry. Yeah, snakes. They are. It's kind of interesting because they're actually a relatively easy pet, but you have to be willing to feed them rodents. And it is an ordeal. When they're young, it's about every 2 weeks. You have to thaw out a rodent, get it up to body temperature, like about 90 degrees, 90, 95 degrees, and then feed it to them. It's not, it's not for everyone. You really should probably find someone who has a snake and see if you can even stomach it first. There are pet snakes you can get you don't need to feed rodents to, namely garter snakes are a good one. They can live off either fish or worms, meal or not mealworms, but earthworms. But yeah, I mean, snakes are a bit. It is an exotic pet. I would definitely research it first. And then when you move out, maybe when you're not with your parents, you might decide, hey, now's the time. Yeah, I mean, it might be one of those things you got to kind of wait until you're out on your own. Luckily for me, even when I was younger, my mom likes reptiles. That's actually what got me into them in the first place. When I was a kid, she had a pet iguana, which is like if you're not familiar, they're a very large lizard. Hers was very friendly, luckily, but they can definitely be mean, and they're very big. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is also part of the problem is you might not be able to for a while. I mean, the nice thing about snakes too is that you can also very easily find a lot of good videos, and you can enjoy them quite a bit without having one as a pet. Because even when you have one as a pet, you mostly just observe them. Let me fire off a recycle before I forget here. Yeah, I know you're gonna transform. It's fine. Yeah, we'll multi-attack that one. Man, we gotta be on like 70 plus dittos at this point, right? I need someone who counts like the count from Sesame Street to keep track of my dittos here. And I guess you would have also had to have been here from the very beginning too. But yeah, if you love reptiles, you should stick around because I am gonna have some more videos about the snakes. And you might notice the name of the channel being Dragon Temple Sanctuary. My ultimate goal is to set up a reptile sanctuary. So at the moment, I just have the ball python behind me, Kisses. That would he's technically my first snake that I've reptile that I've taken in. I'll have a whole video about that at some point. But yeah, I do. There's going to be a lot on this channel focusing on reptiles. Kisses is about, I think he's about 3 years old at this point, maybe a little older. He had trouble eating at the beginning of his life, so I think he might be a little stunted as far as size. But we'll see. Snakes are a little strange because they kind of grow dependent. It really depends a lot about how much food they have available. So if they have a lot of food, they grow fast, and if they don't have a lot of food, they grow slow. But they usually will still hit the same maximum. So we'll see. I mean, he might end up a little stunted. He might get to like 4 or 5 feet if he's a boy, maybe 6 if he's a girl. Because I don't know the gender for sure. I just go by vibes. Except for Grok. Grok I know is a male because I bought him from a breeder. Well, he wasn't quite abandoned. It's actually significantly worse than abandoned. They were originally at a pet store that just did not were not equipped to take care of him properly. They received him too early, likely from the breeder, and he was not eating. You generally have to start snakes on live food. So the breeder will feed the young snakes live food and transition them to thawed food over time, and then they're supposed to send them to a pet store. This snake was sent way too early. The pet store had no idea how to take care of it, and they have a weird thing where they will not feed live. So at the time I was working there, I basically had to sneak the snake a live feed so that it wouldn't die. And then when that worked, I kept bringing in live food every 2 weeks to try to transition them onto frozen food, and basically got yelled at for it. So I said, well, if you don't want to take care of the snake, then give it to me and let me take it home and take care of it. And that's basically what they just let me adopt the snake for free. And I was originally going to rehome him, but he has an additional problem where he has an unusual personality, let's say. Um, Usually ball pythons, as their name implies, will ball up when they get scared. He bites instead. So that's where the name Kisses comes from. He always wants to give me kisses. It's more of a defensive thing when you're going into the tank. Um, it's not really an aggression thing, but it would be kind of hard to find someone to take care of him because he's not what you'd normally expect from a ball python. So if someone's looking for a docile, calm ball python, they probably don't want one that acts like it's a king snake. So I'm pretty much stuck with him at this point, and I've also grown very attached. I kind of like the mean personality. And you would think that but pet stores for the most part it's all about making money. I mean, so if they can't make money off of it, they don't really care anymore. What was I doing? False swipe the right one. And then I want to multi-attack the left one, and that should refresh it. Man, we have to be getting close at this point. I mean, this is like attempt 3 on camera. You have to keep in mind there were like probably 4 attempts before that. At least 2 in this generation. Thank you. I'm glad you like the names. But yeah, pet stores are. It's kind of a necessary evil in a lot of cases, unfortunately, because if you didn't have pet stores, I wouldn't be able to get the things I need for like keeping my pets. But at the same time, yeah, they usually don't have very good information about the animals they're keeping. The people working there rarely know what they're doing or talking about. It's very unfortunate. Luckily, I actually have a local reptile pet store that's uh, at least better than most. They're very knowledgeable. They do their best to keep the animals comfortable. And it's a good source for me to get frozen rodents because I can get them there kind of in semi bulk because they breed their own. I just switched to this new Ditto, right? I don't have to do anything. I can just keep smacking these. Well, that's like how the management is. Management at bigger chain pet stores, I don't want to name names, but let's say it's a mart for your pets. You see what I'm saying? It's a mart for your pets. But big box stores like that, yeah, usually the management knows how bad it is, and they just either don't care or they feel like they can't do anything about it. They're more worried about keeping their own job than keeping the animals safe. And we had when before I left, we actually had a few managers that had no clue what they were doing. So it got significantly worse before I left. Uh, but even yeah, I mean, there's plenty of situations where the managers do know how bad the situation is. They do know how bad the animals are being treated, and they either don't care or just they care more about their job. Um, Australian or USA? Do I sound Australian? I am in the USA, but yeah, but I mean, pet stores, basically anything that's like a big box. If it looks like a Walmart, but it has like pets and pet food inside, they're probably mistreating their animals. I do think that in Europe, I don't know about every country, but I know a lot of other places outside the US have way stricter animal cruelty laws, and there's other places that have way laxer animal cruelty laws. So it really depends where you are. They might not even be able to treat the animals as badly as they treat them here, but yeah, it's very dependent on who works there and how much they care. Uh, and unfortunately, when it comes down to it, people usually care about their own jobs more than animals. Well, I was just saying because someone asked if I was Australian in chat. I was like, no, I'm not. I mean, I guess I could have an American accent and live in Australia. That'd be kind of actually that'd be kind of nice. I wouldn't mind living there. Oh, oh, I think I disconnected for a second. I am back, or at least it says I'm back. Well, it's not nearly as bad as yesterday. Yesterday, I was having those drops like every 5 minutes to the point where I couldn't even keep doing a stream. So I guess this is an improvement. But you probably missed me saying I was saying, yeah, Dutch makes sense. That would make sense why I don't know how to say that correctly. Usually the Wi-Fi is pretty good. We did just get a new router not too long ago, and I am also let me aim the camera a little bit. I'm streaming off literally a outdated laptop, not a computer. So I don't know if that might be having an impact on how stable my connection is. Uh, there is a chance that that's why I'm having so many problems. Oh, hello, Data. It goes. It goes. I'm still on the same shiny chain from the beginning of the stream, but I keep having disconnections, so you might see it drop out every now and then. What did I just do? I just got that one to transform. So I just want to switch. Well, yeah, you are familiar with the intricacies and failings of Xfinity, I believe. So it's just uh it's just one of those crappy internet moments, but I am hoping that it's not like something else on my end. I'll try troubleshooting it a bit. But it's good news for anyone who wants to watch me stream because I'm probably going to have to keep doing these every day until I figure this out. And then once I get everything set up properly, we'll move on to the animal stream. Because it gets kind of hard to do a Q&A if people are missing my answers. Whereas in this situation, it would have to be incredibly unlucky for it to drop out right when I get a shiny, but that could happen. Although so far, it's just been uh, keeping this chain going forever. Uh, what do I need to do here? I just need to get the new one, right? Did I refresh recently? I did. I'm pretty sure I switched Dittos recently. Uh, Trying to think, how many times have I actually used how many times has the Lepa berry went off? I think 3 or maybe 4. So that's 40 PP right there. So that's 40 Dittos, and we started with 16 PP, so 56. So I mean, yeah, we're probably past 60 at this point. Do I have a Lepa berry? No, so I actually need to use recycle. My camera's slipping. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera here. Remember, this thing is strapped to my wrist, guys, so... Okay, there we go. That should be good. If only I had, like, half a grand sitting around, I could just buy a capture card 3DS, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Especially not just to do some test streams. I think I want to switch Dittos pretty soon. If nothing else, just to satiate my paranoia here. Yeah, it did say attack rose, so this one couldn't have been out for too long, but... Like, if I break the chain here, that is really not going to be fun. I wouldn't, made the wrist camera is a very, I rigged it together myself. That would probably be the best way of putting it. It's like, some of the people I watch that stream talk about, they used to have like a camera duct taped to a tin can and stuff, or a pop can. It kind of, you have to be inventive when you're doing this kind of thing. But I did come up with the idea to what I did is I took a wrist strap that's supposed to attach your phone to your wrist. I took like a webcam and just kind of like put it in the slot and tightened it. It's extremely janky. I show it at the beginning of this stream and the previous one. I used my phone to, or I think it was in the middle of the stream. At the very beginning of the previous stream, I used my phone like a mirror just to show how rigged it is. I mean, it's not duct taped together, but that's about the best thing you could say about it. It's also like a used Ryzen camera that's like 10 years old or something. I mean, it's definitely not what I would call a good setup, but yeah, I mean, it is working. You guys can see the screen, right? We'll see how well it captures if I get a shiny, then I'll praise it. Whenever it's SOS calling, I try to hold it up to the screen a little bit. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, just so I can get a good view if it does happen to be shiny. You can actually see the camera reflected. I don't think that was an issue yesterday because I didn't have as bright of a light in front of me. I could make it even worse by turning on the built-in light. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. Look how bad that looks. It could always be worse. Luckily, I figured out how to turn that off. I didn't even know you could at first. Okay, let's go for turn waste. Okay, I'm gonna buckle in and just try to get through a few of these dittos here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a ring light built into the camera. This is like, I think this is a webcam that's like specifically made to be like a face cam for gaming. But I'm just not using it that way. I'm just kind of using it as a generic USB camera. And I am hoping to get a better one eventually. Oh, I saw a speed won't go any higher on that one. That's when we have to start paying attention. But I just did this one, right? I don't think I need to switch. Right? I would hate to be wrong at this point. I mean, I guess. I think this one's like specifically meant to be a face cam, though. I don't know why this is aiming so far up all of a sudden. There's that better? Yeah, that's kind of better. Uh, oh, that one. Oh, that one impostered me. Okay, I gotta start paying a little bit more attention here. Okay, let's get rid of the imposter first. Or actually, I don't know how much PP that other Ditto has left, so let's get rid of that one first. It's probably not bad shiny luck for you. I think it's bad shiny luck for me. Ditto has been one that I've been trying to get for a long time, and I've had awful luck with. I'm usually not super unlucky when it comes to hunting shinies, but sometimes. I'm gonna false swipe this and see if I can get it to not recover or summon this turn, which would be nice. Nah. Well, that one's not an imposter ditto anyway, so I'm not gonna bother trying to like get a recycle or get a imposter ditto for the chaining. It's just not worth it. I was trying to do that yesterday and it was such a pain. Like I don't really care if it has imposter, and it seems like the SOS chain doesn't regardless of if the one calling has it, it doesn't seem like it happens very often for the called ditto to have imposter. It's more likely, but not by much. It doesn't seem like. Okay, so actually I want to false. Well, no, it doesn't matter here. I can multi-attack that one first. I just want to get it to stop doing damage to me at this point. For dittos, they're like blue. I don't really have a name picked out yet either. This camera just does not want to sit properly anymore. It has to kind of rest on my wrist bone, which is kind of got to get it just in the right spot. There we go. I think that's good. If a Ditto Imposter is a normal Pokemon, will it be shiny or normal? If the Ditto is, regardless of what the Ditto is, it's always going to look like what it's transforming into. So if my Pokemon is shiny, the Ditto will turn into a shiny, and if my Pokemon is normal, it will turn into a normal. So I do actually have to pay attention. If an Imposter Ditto comes in, I might not notice it's shiny. Was I supposed to be attacking now, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is a newly transformed Ditto on the right, right? Mystique is pretty good actually. I don't have to worry about male or female for a Ditto. Oh, there's speaking of an imposter Ditto, but see that one wasn't shiny, and because my Smeargle is shiny, it transformed into a shiny. But obviously, if I catch it, it's just going to be a normal Ditto. I'm going to use Recycle real quick. Just before I forget. Yeah, I have to be very attentive when it's an imposter Ditto, but luckily those are pretty uncommon. At least they don't have like run away or something. I'm gonna just swap. I like attacking the one on the right. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing is that a shiny imposter Ditto is kind of hilariously useless and funny because you're only going to be showing it off for like the 5 seconds before it transforms. But I don't usually show them off in combat. I mean, I just kind of collect them for my own sake. multi-attack. Well, let's see. We're getting there. We're getting up. Uh, okay, I think I'm back. Maybe. Yeah, definitely still getting some disconnects here. I really do got to figure out what's causing that. It's not as bad today as it was yesterday, so it makes me think it literally is just the ISP. Because if it wasn't the ISP, I don't know what would be different today that would make it less frequent. I mean that is the problem, is that I can't narrow it down by just like using something else. It could literally be my Wi-Fi, it could be the laptop. If I get like an actual PC that's geared towards streaming and like have a hard wire connection to the internet, that would probably be my best bet to rule those both out. So I will eventually know what's causing it, I guess. But I am hoping that it's just going to resolve itself for the most part. If it doesn't, I'll go from there. I don't think this laptop does have an Ethernet port, unless I'm just mistaken. No, luckily I was looking that time, so I know this is not a shiny. Goodbye. Yeah, this is a pretty slim laptop. It doesn't really have a lot of parts. At the time, I was more looking for something that was like able to be moved around and lightweight. Yeah, that's true. Someone else could tell me it was shiny, but I've watched other streams. I know chat can't always be trusted. When it's a small one like this, it's not bad, but once you start getting groups of people, there's always going to be someone who's going to be like, "No, it was. You should go for the catch," and ruin your chain. This one just isn't going to SOS call, so no, you cannot rest. No rest for the Rockruff. Oh, I probably could have used recover there. Actually, I am missing some health. No, Data, I'd trust you if you told me it was shiny, but if you fooled me, then you'd have to hunt me a shiny Ditto. Sorry, I hate to say it. That's the rules. Okay, I'm going to recover. It would be kind of embarrassing to get knocked out by an imposter Ditto. It hasn't happened yet. It could happen if I'm not paying attention. Do I need to switch Dittos? I think it's about time I switch, just in case. Okay, so the right one is the new one. Just gotta remember, the right one's the new one. Don't kill the wrong one. Oh boy, so what is this? Ditto like 80, 70 something? How many Lepa berries have I used? Man, I don't even know. Do I even have one on me? I do. We're really getting up there in the Ditto count, that's for sure. Yes, I did know Spinda. I don't know if they're each unique, but I know there's a lot of different combinations. Yeah, I think I've used something like 4 or 5 Lepa berries, so I mean that's like 50 Ditto right there. And then plus I started with 16 PP, so yeah, we're probably well past 60, 70 at this point. I know getting up to 100 doesn't like guarantee a shiny, but that's usually the benchmark is whether or not you had to SOS chain 100 or less than 100. Less than 100 is usually considered pretty good, but it might end up being over 100 at this point. Yeah, and keep in mind for each of those Spinda patterns, then you also have you could have a shiny version with that pattern too. So yeah, there's quite a few different Spindas. I think I did S or not SOS chain. I think it was hard battles. I think I did hard battle those for a while, but I don't think I ever got a lucky shiny out of it. Now here comes my either fourth or fifth Lepa berry. I don't know which. I've finally gotten to the point where I'm going to recycle my last PP. So I think what's going to happen, if I'm correct, is it's going to immediately use it. Yeah. So it immediately uses it to recover recycle. That's pretty funny. I hadn't gotten to that point yet, so I was wondering what was gonna be the result there. So now I actually have to recycle again because I want to get the actual Lepa berry. Then I have to kill the imposter. Ejected. And now come on, please, come on. SOS a shiny for me, please. I'm done. I'm done with this. I've been hunting this Ditto for 3 days. Just give it to me already. Yeah, shiny Spinda would be cool. I wonder, do they SOS chain in this game? If they SOS chain, it might be something I'll go for. I know I just switched this Ditto, but I just want to do a safety because I lost track of how it's used at least a few, so oh you can. So yeah, I might SOS chain those next. I don't know, who knows. Okay, false swipe left. Multi-attack right. Gotta love those critical false swipes. Definitely makes a lot of sense. And no help. Thank you. Thank you, Ditto. Good job. Uh, well, so far I've been doing these streams until I screw up. So if I lose this chain, I'm definitely done. But last time I did that, I continued streaming for a little bit after to just talk about snakes and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of a mystery. I just kind of stream until I'm done for now. I don't really have a set schedule yet. But if we get the shiny, or if I break this chain, it probably won't go for very long after that. Because whenever either of those things happens, I will probably go and make myself some dinner. Do I need to recover? No, not really. Do I need to? Did I ever get that Lepa berry back? Yes. Okay, so I can just blow a turn with a adrenaline orb if I need to next time. Okay, just attack the Ditto. Yeah, once I start doing like the animal videos and I have a better streaming setup, I do plan to do it more regularly and have like a set schedule that I try to stick to. But for now, it's just whenever it happens. This guy still did an SOS chain? Did I like not? Did I not use the adrenaline orb and I thought I did? No, either way, he's still just not doing it. Why does it not want a SOS call? No, there we go. It wasn't even didn't even attempt it last time. Oh my god. Well, maybe it's because the game has run out of regular Dittos and now it's gonna have to give me a shiny, right? That's definitely how that works. Did I make Fortnite vids? Yeah, I have. They're still up on my channel. I'm pretty sure they're still up on my channel. Yeah, originally that was what I used this channel for. I posted a lot of Fortnite stuff just because that was what I was playing at the time. I still do play it a bit. I actually have like a ton of recorded videos, like clips and stuff that I could upload if I ever felt like it. I might pick through and find some of the funnier moments and just put together like a compilation or something. See, the problem is I can video edit. I just really hate doing it. So streaming is definitely better for me. Like if you want to, if it's going to be on a regular schedule, it's going to probably be streaming. Edited videos just it takes so long for me to get into the mood to even want to do them, and then when I do, it takes me a long time because I'm not good at it. Oh boy, how long have I been killing dittos now? Uh, I'm sure it tells me somewhere. Um, I don't actually see where it tells me how long I've been streaming. Interesting. Oh wait, that I think I just saw it right when I clicked away. Over 2 hours, 2 hours and 18 minutes. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty long time. I mean, for just shiny hunting, I would say. I've seen people stream for like 6 hours if they're doing something a little bit more engaging. I was talking about the last stream. I think once we start getting into fall, hopefully by then I'll have a much better setup. But I would like to stream Dead Space. It's my favorite horror game, and I there was a point where I played it annually, and I haven't played it in a while, so I kind of want to play through all the original three games. And I'll probably do that around Halloween. That's going to be a really fun one though, because it's been a little while since I've done that, and I used to. I mean, for like 4 or 5 years, I played those games like every October. So it'd be interesting to see how much of it I remember and how much I have to relearn. I think after this one, I'm gonna switch Dittos. 24 hours? Yeah, I don't think I would want to stream for 24 hours, but I think the only way I would do something like that is if it was some kind of charity thing or something, maybe. Because yeah, that's definitely not good for you. That's for sure. But I do have insomnia, so staying up for 24 hours is not super out of the realm for me. I know how bad it is. Let's put it that way. Oh boy, that that was cutting it close. I don't know if you caught that, but that Ditto just struggled. So that one was actually out of moves. I don't know if I just forgot to do that for a while or if I killed the wrong one in one of my refreshes there, but I'm really, really glad that I decided to switch right there. That would have been real bad. Man, that was almost the end right there. I think because that one had failed to SOS call so many times, I just hadn't realized how many moves it used. Oop, I just almost knocked the camera right off my wrist. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some pretty unlucky SOS chains here. They're not, or SOS calls. They're just like not going through. Yeah, the problem is that staying up and then sleeping for a long time, although you can kind of reset your schedule, it does more harm than good a lot of the time. Because then after you sleep for 12 hours, you're not going to want to sleep after that for a while. And yeah, it is, it's rough. It's rough trying to fix your schedule, I know. For me, my best bet is usually to instead of staying up for 24 hours, I'll try to do it in smaller increments than that. I'll stay up a little bit later each time until it's at the sleep schedule that I'm hoping for. But yeah, it can definitely be very hard, especially if you have insomnia. There's no real way to fix that, and anyone who says they have a way to fix that is probably trying to get money from you. Oh yeah, I mean, for me, ever since I was like a little kid, like I remember being like 4 or 5 and like not understanding when people would say that you just like close your eyes and fall asleep. And like I didn't get what they meant by that because that's like not how it works for me. Because I have to like sit there with my eyes closed and like get into the zone to sleep and like get my brain to shut off. And usually it's laying there for about an hour, unless I'm very exhausted. Yeah, at this point, we kind of missed the that lucky where I wasn't paying attention where the Ditto almost struggled and ended the encounter. I think since we got past that, it seems like we're just going until we get a shiny now. I mean, I'd have to make a pretty big mistake to end this chain, so you know what? Speaking of which, let's do a safety. Yeah, you do that. But you'll see that's why I do the false swipe first instead of knocking the old one out, because then if I have miscounted or it just for whatever reason I don't realize that one's out, my multi attack won't go to the only remaining, because that was how the second stream ended. So this way it prevents that very rare situation from occurring if I false swipe the new one first. Oh, this one didn't. It did an SOS chain. Okay. Did it just say I disconnected? Oh no. Well, it says I'm online. I saw something pop up over there. I'm like super paranoid for seeing that little disconnect thing pop up on OBS now. Okay, knock this one out. Man, we are the SOS chains. I feel like are getting more and more likely to fail as we go along. Maybe I'm just paying more attention to them now because I'm that's definitely the reason that I'm not realizing how much PP is getting used up. Because I'm mostly counting how many Dittos actually get SOS called, but they don't get SOS called every turn. But there is at least one PP being used up every turn. So I think that is really messing up my ability to keep track. Or was. Now I'm aware of it. So now I'm like very much, if anything, I'm switching too frequently most of the time. You know what? No, actually, no, I don't want you to learn lock on. Uh, do I need to refresh my Lepa Berry? I don't remember if I used it. I'm getting close to running out of PP again. And you know how my Pokemon love their Lepa Berries. I mean, we've seen this guy eat what, like five, six? Oh yeah, no, he actually does not have one on him at the moment, so the next time I get an opportunity, I need to do that. Well, this is not that opportunity. Hello, Ditto that can actually do damage. Goodbye, Ditto that could actually do damage. Now is my opportunity. And let's. I kind of just want to switch because I feel like sometimes it gets stuck where it's not SOS chaining, and if I do this, it kind of refreshes that too. I wonder if it's per Pokemon. I wonder if it decides a percentage when they are SOS'd in, how likely it is to SOS call. I don't know enough about the actual like mechanics of these games to know how those systems are set up and how much of it is just like confirmation bias when I'm like, "Oh, well, I did this and it worked, so I'll just keep doing that." Okay, so right side is the new one. Left side is the multi-attack. And that's going to use up my Lepa Berry. So if this SOS doesn't work, I will recycle. Uh, there we go. Yeah, SOS chains is an interesting mechanic in and of itself. And the funny thing is, I've used it to shiny chain several times, and I still don't know how all of it works. I don't know like what affects what sometimes. Ejected. Oh, one of the cockroaches came out to watch me play. See that? Oh, you can actually see the other one too. The one on top there is the male, the alpha male, and the one on the bottom there is the one I think of as the beta female. It's like a darker colored female. She has only one antenna as well. But they got a little spooked when I moved their bin, but they're kind of coming out to chill now. They don't really do very much, but they're cool. I would say the most interesting part is that I was phobic of cockroaches until fairly recently, and now I have them as pets. Yeah, this is a long chain. I think this might be the longest I've ever chained. Uh, no, you know what? I think the longest I ever chained actually was probably that LGM that I caught last week when I was testing the spot. I think that was like 4 or 5 hours straight, but I was like watching TV and doing other stuff in the background. And I probably did break the chain. No, yeah, come to think of it, I probably broke the chain multiple times on that one. So, yeah, this might be the longest single chain I've ever done. It's been going for quite some time. I guess I'm also talking in between and stuff too, but still, I mean, we've been getting steady stream of dittos to annihilate. I am like I was very tempted to say that I'm not going to stop today until I get one, but it really is tough to keep going once you break a chain. If it wasn't for that, I would probably say that I'm going to stick around until I get one. Because, like, can you imagine starting this chain over after it's been going for more than like 2.5 hours? That would be so insane to do. Um, do I need to switch dittos? How many failed SOSs did I get? I'm switching. Look, I will Sisyphus this boulder up the mountain, but the real issue is the streaming aspect of it. If the stream is disconnecting and like I have to sit here with a camera on my wrist the whole time, those are the things that are gonna drag me down. Like if I was just sitting here, I would do this for days until I get the shiny. Like I'm very persistent, but I have my limits. Oh wait, I don't need to adrenaline orb. I need to switch Pokemon. I mean, I mean, you all you have to do is look at my boxes, multiple boxes of shinies to realize how persistent I am when I really want one. False swipe the left and multi attack the right. Just got to keep that in mind so I don't do the wrong one. And no help. Do I have to do anything? I guess I could use recover. When did I take that damage? Did that imposter Ditto get a hit off on me? Apparently one must have. Okay, and I think we're back. Well, we're back right in time for a Ditto call, so let's see. Nope. Yeah, I like completely disconnected on that one for a second. But the weird thing is, I wonder if it is an OBS thing because it doesn't look. I was trying to pay attention this time. It doesn't look like my connection is dropping. It looks like OBS's connection is dropping. So I wonder if maybe it is an issue with OBS. Maybe I can try reinstalling OBS. Well, either way, let's keep doing this for now. It's not so bad. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday was like every 5 minutes. And I kind of just, once I broke the chain and it was disconnecting every 5 minutes, I kind of just said, screw it. I was gonna actually keep going, but the connection issues just really. It was like a 1-2 punch. I break the chain and then I also am not connecting. But I don't need another adrenaline orb. Let's go for the multi attack. I don't think it's the CPU, because I'm not actually running a game on the laptop. And it says CPU 13%. Yeah, most of the time the CPU is pretty low, so I don't think that's the issue. But see, when I was trying to run games, that did make it harder because I was never sure if it was the game lagging or my connection lagging or the laptop not being able to stream it. At least with a direct stream like this, I have a little bit more of a chance of figuring it out. Did I look at this Ditto? Okay, it's not shiny. Knocking out a shiny Ditto would be a whole different level of me screwing up. If I knock out a shiny Ditto, I don't know. There should be a punishment. It's not a bad laptop. It's just an old laptop. So the thing that worries me is it might be so out of date that it's just not working correctly with OBS is the thing I'd say that would probably be my biggest concern with the laptop is that it's just not up to date enough to be able to run OBS very well. But I would say it's probably about 80% likely that it's just my ISP because it's a crappy ISP. I don't know the specs off the top of my head. It was pretty good for the time, but that time was pre-pandemic. So it's been a while. It's been a little while since I've gotten a new computer. But I know if there's anything that it's weak on, it definitely does not have like a good graphics. Like it's not a graphics intensive laptop. It was mostly just meant to be um just for handling various like it was never meant to do this. This was never its intended purpose. Oh no, not yet. Still working on it. I'm still trying. This is still the same chain. We have not dropped the chain. It just has not produced a shiny yet. It was a work laptop in a way. I was doing a lot of drawing at the time, and that was its main purpose. So it just needed to have a lot of RAM. That was the main thing I looked for. And other than that, I just kind of was using it to like watch video, like watch YouTube, watch streams. It's better at the watching end of it for sure. Okay, I actually do think the disconnections are getting worse. It's strange. It seems like it's later in the evening too, which is another reason that makes me think that it's the ISP struggling. Because I think it's just that literally that there's a lot of people online in my area right now, and that's like using up all of our bandwidth. Yeah, traffic, that's the word I'm looking for. I mean, it's very likely that I will be somewhere new soon, and hopefully it'll have better internet. But until then, hopefully it won't get worse. I mean, there is also the possibility that I could get I mean, this laptop is so old, even a used computer would probably be an improvement. Um, Especially if I get one that is like kind of specifically good enough for streaming. Uh, and then I can just hook that up to the I could just use the Ethernet port and it won't be an issue. But again, I don't even know if that's I don't even if it is the ISP, that's not going to do anything. So I don't know if it would be worth it to go out of my way to do that yet. I'm not there yet, basically. Do I need to switch? I feel like I've been talking for a while without paying attention. So I will do a safety. Yeah, I don't like it when it starts saying speed won't go any higher, etc. too, because that means it's used that at least a few times. Okay, so just remember the new one is on the left. I want to multi-attack the one on the right. And the chain remains unbroken. Yeah, I've never tried using 5G. I do wonder if that would be an improvement over how bad Comcast slash Xfinity is in my area. It would probably be more stable, but it would probably also be slower. So I don't know if that would be a worthwhile trade-off. Well, I'll probably wait on that though. Yeah, I still think it's funny that earlier someone came in and saw the shiny Rockruff and thought that I'd gotten a shiny. I was wondering if that was going to happen, if people were going to come in like mid chain and see the shiny and be like, "Oh crap." But no, my Ditto bait just happens to be shiny. Do I have a Lepa Berry? I don't. I'm almost out of moves here, so I'm going to need to do that next time I get a chance. It does seem like we're getting more imposter ones for whatever reason. Does that become more common as you go? I don't think so. Might just be lucky. Let's. I guess I don't have much choice but to just use recycle. Come on. Nope. It continues. Let's see. Do I need? I used the Lepa Berry, so I need to recycle again, right? Before I forget. And then let's. After this next one, I think I'll switch again. It's honestly easier to just switch frequently than keep track. It's not like it wastes anything but time, and it doesn't waste as much time as resetting the whole thing would. Oh yeah, you guys don't even get the music anymore. I wasn't even thinking about that. It's a lot more boring without the music, I bet. At least I have that to listen to on loop over and over forever. Oops, nope, not that one. Well, that could have been a worse mistake, but I'd rather false swipe the wrong one than multi attack the wrong one. Let's see. I have a Lepa Berry. I don't need to recycle. Yeah, I guess I'll just use an Adrenaline Orb. Well, okay. Apparently I disconnected because I just saw the return thing pop up. It did look like the CPU jumped up a little bit, but I don't think that's what's causing it. Yeah, I'm gonna try reinstalling. After this, I'm gonna reinstall OBS. I'm going to try resetting the router again. And then maybe I'll stream tomorrow around the same time and we'll see if I'm getting the same issues. Maybe I'll just do like a chatting stream or something tomorrow if we get the shiny today or whatever. Or if we don't get the shiny today, maybe I'll continue the hunt tomorrow and we can keep testing. You know what? I am low on like all my moves, so I'm just gonna use a regular Rado PP because I have a ton of those. The Leppa Berry thing is mostly just so I'm, staying in like a pattern. And I can also keep track, but at this point I've lost count so much it doesn't matter. Oops, no, I don't want to use another PP restore. Now that would be a waste. We got to be around like 80 now, right? At least 80. Oh, you guys might be able to hear the train. I have my window open and I live right next to train tracks, so might be able to, might not. Nah, I've always lived next to train tracks. I don't even hear it most of the time. I'm in an area that is very train heavy. Well, I mean, it does go past in the middle of the night and blow its horn, but yeah, again, if unless the windows are open, I usually don't. It's not even loud enough for me to like realize. But yeah, it will blow the horn in the middle of the night. Yeah, I think if you weren't used to it, it would probably be incredibly annoying. But I imagine everyone who lives around here is probably used to it because we have trains going past like 24/7. No, I'd rather hear the trains going past than like I've known people live near highways and stuff and you hear like the cars all the time. That would bother me a lot more, I feel like. I just switched Dittos, right? Yeah. I need like a little click counter so I can keep track of how many moves and how many Dittos and stuff. Maybe I'll do that for the stream tomorrow. I'll have a little piece of paper and I can kind of mark down how many moves and how many Dittos. Oop, forgot I have a camera on my right arm. I can't move it like that. I was gonna grab my water. I feel like I've had like a bird perched on my wrist this whole stream. Yeah, I imagine really long streams would be easier without a camera tied to your wrist, though. I'll probably have a much easier time once I'm not doing it this way. I really picked a stupid way to test, but I mean, I think it's kind of funny. No, there's another imposter one. It'd been a minute. So yeah, that makes it makes me realize how weird those couple that were really close back to back were, because that was a long stretch between those and this one. Yeah, I mean it's I don't think the trains are much of a coincidence for me because the line that's near me has Metro trains, so like we're pretty much guaranteed one every half hour. One going one direction and then one going the other direction. And then on top of that, we also of course have the freight trains. I almost just multi attacked this Ditto. That would have ended the stream. There's no way I would have kept going. That would have been such a stupid mistake. Did I just switch Dittos? I just switched, right? I think. Or was this the one that I had to keep using adrenaline orbs because it kept failing? Well, let's see if we'll get a lucky imposter one. Oh, it didn't even SOS call. Man, these Dittos really don't like me. It would have been really great if that was a lucky imposter one, but oh wait, no, no, no. I want to false swipe right, multi attack left. I always want to do the multi attack first. It does help you keep track of which one you're supposed to be doing better, but just that one chance, just that one situation where it's way, way, way worse makes me not want to do it. Yeah, actually, if this wasted adrenaline orbs using it to burn a turn, I would probably have run out quite a while ago. I would have been like, I would have burned through hundreds of those at this point between these three Ditto catch attempts. Well, if I keep going much longer, my lights are gonna shut off that are on a timer over here for the snake tanks. Might have to call it pretty soon. But we still haven't broken the chain or caught a shiny, so I don't really know how else to end it. I feel like we have to either catch a shiny or break the chain, one of the two. Yeah, it was a pretty easy choice yesterday because I broke the chain and then it was disconnecting. What is that, like 3 or 4 fails in a row to SOS? The Smeargle is, yes. Graffiti is my shiny Smeargle. I think I bred for that one. I don't actually remember. That was a while ago. That is a little while ago now. Actually, I think my entire current team is shiny except for the Gardevoir, because I have the synchronized Gardevoir for Modest, because I'm hoping for a Modest Ditto. Is that another? Why does it keep giving me imposter ones all of a sudden? What's going on here? Get out of here. Oh, speaking of which, that was the Gardevoir leveling up. I can't believe she got enough to level up from this. But yeah, the Smeargle is shiny. Yeah, my whole team at the moment is shiny except for that Gardevoir. I think having a synchronized for each nature, all of them being shiny, would be a little much. Griffith, yeah, no, graffiti. It's like graffiti but rough, like a dog. I thought it was clever. And it has multi attack, which is normally a Silvally move, if I'm not mistaken. Um, do I need to switch Dittos? I think I do. I think it's about time, just to be safe. As much as I kind of do want to end, I don't want to end it by failing on purpose. I'd rather get the shiny if I can. I mean, I'd really like to get the shiny at this point. It's been so much effort. So let's false swipe the new one on the left. And then multi-attack the one on the right. Okay. Do I have a Lepa berry to recover? I do. Because I'm almost out of PP now. I mean, we gotta be over 100 at this point, right? I don't think this is exactly a lucky hunt here. And this is gonna use up my Lepa berry. So if this is a failed SOS, then I will just have to remember to recycle. Well, it wasn't a failed SOS, and it's an imposter, so I am not doing that. Because he will actually smack me. Like that. Come on, Ditto. Okay. Adrenaline orb. Oh, no, not run. Ah! Okay, well, I'm about done anyway. I think we've tried enough for today. What was that, like almost 3 hours? I think I'm gonna just go for tomorrow and try to get one. Yeah, how much? Let me open this window. Yeah, 2 hours and 40. I think that's probably enough for today, right? When I'm getting so tired that I hit run instead of battle, I mean, oh boy, that was a rough one, but I actually am pretty happy that I kept the chain going for so long. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, everybody. I am going to stream again tomorrow. I don't know what. It'll probably just be another shiny hunt because I still haven't gotten the Ditto. And I want to make sure that I fix whatever the hell these issues I'm having are. Let me just rest up here real quick. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I was considering doing another quick preview, but we took a look at the roaches and the snakes and stuff earlier, so I think it's about time for me to go get some food. We'll take one more quick peek at the roaches and say goodbye. Yeah, Shiny Ditto is this is definitely one of the harder ones that I've ever done. At least for this sort of method, I've had some real hard times breeding, but that's like a whole different that's kind of a whole different beast. Okay, let me just gonna unscrew this camera real quick and we'll say a quick hello or a quick goodbye, I suppose, to the roaches. But I'll just show you the setup in here real quick before we go. I got this little broken thing that I can put their food on. You can see some antennas poking out of there, maybe. But let's lift this up real quick so you can get a better look at that female. I'm trying to tilt this in a way that you can see her better. There you go. And you can actually see crawling around on her. Those are actually a type of mite that only lives on these roaches. and they're somewhat beneficial. I believe they don't know why exactly, but they eat some sort of fungus that grows on the roaches, I guess, and it keeps them alive longer. But yeah, these guys are pretty interesting. Let's see if he'll hiss when I go to pick him up. Oh, you guys won't hear it because the mic is on my face. But you can see when I try to pick him up, he just kind of grips on a little tighter. So I'm gonna leave him alone. I don't wanna hurt him. But this one is, even though it's not really the biggest one, that's like the alpha male, and then there is another male. He's usually hiding in this little. Yeah, there he is. It's a bigger male, but I think possibly because he's missing some of his antenna, he doesn't socialize as much. And he's actually hissing. Can you guys hear that? I'm not sure if that was being picked up or not, but he picked up some wood with him. You're grabbing the wood instead of my arm or instead of my hand. Okay, there you go. I was trying to get that little piece of wood. Oh, pff. Oh, now he's really hissing. Here, come on. But you can see he's only got one antenna, and I think that makes him not socialize as well. He's small enough where he may get bigger, and if he does get bigger, he probably will regrow that. But they don't regrow stuff if they're done growing. I'm just gonna see, and then the problem is once they get on you, then they don't want to get off. Can you guys hear that hissing? He's really mad at me. Oh, there, and there's the that's the big female on the bottom there. That big female, it's kind of hard to see on the camera. You can kind of see how her sides look sort of bulgy and she looks very bulbous. I believe that female is probably the one that's going to start my colony. I think she is going to give birth and get this colony really going. And you can see there's a little bit of difference in coloration. Usually it's the males that are darker, but this is a female, this dark one right here. You can see because the horns, quote unquote horns on the pronotum they're not really sticking out that much. Whereas if you look at this guy, he's got, see, it's kind of hard to see at this angle, but he's got a much more longer and prominent set of horns on that pronotum and much more feathery. Yeah, you can see the featheriness, right, on the antennas. I can see it on the camera. The way that's got that featheriness to the antennas, the females are generally lacking that. They're thinner. This female is also missing most of her right antenna. But yeah, they look fairly distinctly different between the boys and the girls for that species. And I'm actually going to put these guys back where they normally go. I just kind of had them over here for streaming purposes. They usually just kind of sit over there in that corner because they don't like the light very much. They prefer to have a little bit of a dark environment. But I'm going to end it there. Thanks so much, everybody, for showing up. I will be streaming again tomorrow. Oh, Mace came back out. Look at that. He was sleeping in his bowl the whole stream. I guess he came out because I was messing with the roaches on top of his tank. He was sleeping in that bowl like the whole stream. This is also the time that they usually come out. The timer for the lights goes off in about half an hour. I don't know how they know, but they know. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks so much for coming, everybody. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow, so make sure to check in. I'm getting that Ditto on stream. There's no way I'm not getting that Ditto on stream. I'm just gonna keep trying until I get it. But thanks so much.